Y'all need to calm down. Is y'all cool? Y'all been dragging me for 3 or 4 days. Y'all been a little bit too mean. Like I now. Y'all been a little bit too mean. I can't change. I can't change shit. I can't go back in time. You know what I'm saying? I already had a baby. Y'all want me to put my baby back in my pussy? Huh? I don't know. What y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to leave my man and fuck yours? You want me to leave my man and just go and fuck yours? I don't know. What y'all want me to do? What y'all want me to do? We can only go forward now.
Testing 1, 2, and 3. How the mic's sounding right now? How the mic's sounding?
So I don't know. 2026 is in a couple of days. I have so much work to do once January starts that is stressing me out. I'm gonna be away from my babies, away from my personal life, away from my home. I have to rehearse for 10 to 12 hours a day for tour. There is so many elements of productions that I'm missing for tour. I'm already super stressed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm already super stressed out. I need my support system, my fans to love me. I want y'all to come to my tour and enjoy yourself with me. Don't be dragging me. It's enough. All right? It's enough.
Anyway, shout out to Pyro for the $2 super chat. Shout out to Pyro right here with the early donations.
Donations. Donations. Donations. Donations. Donations. Donations. Gifts. 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 More gifts. More gifts.
He said, "What's good, BAN?" By the way, he's trolling. By the way, he's trolling. Here, Pyro, we got Pyro with another super chat. Let's do something different this time.
Good Lord have mercy. Huh? Hallowed be thy name.
Shout out to Pyro, man, with another another $2 super chat. Shout out to Pyro. He said, "We can hear you loud and clear, BAN." Oh, man. Shout out to Pyro in the chat. Why is my StreamYard messing up on me? All right, here we go. But yeah, Cardi and that Stefon Diggs, they're cooked. They are cooked. Because I saw this video yesterday. And then it looked like all hell broke loose again today.
I love y'all. I want good for y'all. I want good for y'all. I want health, money, prosperity, happiness for this new year for y'all. Wish me the same thing, all right? Leave me alone though. Shit. Damn. Y'all scare me sometimes. Y'all a little bit too.
Well, this video was like yesterday or a couple of days ago, and I saved it, and everything just got worse. Everything just got worse, man. So if anybody hasn't got the news, right? Let me see if Twitter got it right. Let me see if Twitter AI got it right. But to be safe, we're going to open it up on a separate news platform. Here we go. Let's open it up on ABC News. No, let's do CNN. Oh, no, we'll do People. Let me do People's Magazine, and then we got the text exchange right here that I will open up in a separate link. So, for the people that don't know, Stefon Diggs was accused of choking a female chef, then throwing her on bed for requesting back pay. No, I am not making this stuff up. Now, when I looked at the info and I saw female chef, or no, they labeled it private chef, I already knew what that was. Private chef. Okay. Yeah, he said first DK. Now this NFL playoff season is going to be crazy. Man, man, that's crazy. Low key, I feel bad for DK though. Here's the thing with DK Metcalf. I know he's cuckoo in the head, mind you. I believe DK is cuckoo in the head, but according to Jay Glazer, that specific individual that's trying to sue, DK had warned security of that guy. So he wasn't even really supposed to be there, and he got the reaction that he was looking for. And because of just that one man, the Ravens might sneak into the playoffs, and Tomlin might get fired because this is going to be the first time in a minute that he hasn't made the playoffs, especially with Aaron Rodgers at the helm. Just that one individual with the blue hair, he might be. This might be a franchise like changing moment because I think if DK was help wasn't suspended, I think they would have beaten the Browns. This is wild work, man. But just to let you guys know, earlier today, since I see six people in the chat, so and I see particularly Pyro and Garrett here, so I'm gonna say this. Last stream, I said specifically that eventually I was going to do a stream, right, called Christianity is Dead, right, in America. But earlier today, I was at a funeral. This was somebody that I knew growing up. This was a well-respected person of the community. He was a pastor. He was a pastor that I saw growing up at my parents' church. This was a well-respected person, and out of respect for his works, his service, mind you, the pastors that I grew up with, they didn't preaching wasn't their job. Like they didn't make money off preaching. They had jobs, and then they preached, and then they went back to their jobs. That's how much they were committed to the community, right? So seeing what his kids had to say about him, because we knew him growing up, seeing the grace that he gave one of his kids, that didn't really necessarily believe in what he believed in, and her being humble enough to put her wokeness aside and to still honor her father. I'm not going to do that stream. Just out of respect for DOGs, I won't do that because I don't think he you know what was crazy is he wouldn't even mind if I did a stream like that. He wouldn't mind. He wouldn't have mind. But just out of respect, I won't do that. I won't do a stream like that. I'm just gonna stick to. I will have my critiques, obviously. We do have to address Christianity in America, and I might have to reword that title and do it at another time. But I'm not gonna put Christianity as dead. I'm not gonna do that. Just out of respect. So forgive me for that, because I did say I was going to do that, but just letting you guys off rip, I'm not going to do that stream. We're just going to do, obviously, sympathy. Who's the sympathy year? And we will address Christianity in America, but in a more respectful tone, right? So bear with me on that. Sorry for kind of, putting that out there first and then now saying I'm going to take it back. But seeing what I saw earlier today gave me cause to pause. So I'm going to relax on that. But anyways, back to the story. Stefon Diggs accused of choking female chef, then throwing her on bed for requesting back pay. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, so this is your private chef, your private female chef, and you're choking her and then throwing her on a bed. Where ain't she a chef? Where's the bed coming from? So I already knew what that is. That's clearly was one of his hoes that he probably finessed some pussy out of. Like that's one of these so-called private chefs that has probably some Instagram, some cooking. She probably has some a small cooking channel on her IG, whatever. And Stefon Diggs like, hey, come to my house and come cook for me. And one thing led to another. She probably thought she was in there, but Stefon Diggs was probably like, okay, you need to leave now. And things got physical. Okay. Now let's look at the details. It says Stefon Diggs is accused of assaulting his chef on December 2nd after the two argued over back pay she claimed was owed to her, according to a police report obtained by People's Magazine. Second bullet point, the chef did not report the alleged incident until December 16th and did not decide to formally press charges until December 23rd, according to the police report. Third bullet point, Diggs has yet to speak publicly about the matter, but his lawyer tells People that he categorically denies the allegations. Now, I'm going to show you something later on. I'm going to show you something later on where Cardi B is going to enter the mix. I'm going to show you something where the female chef was going to drop the matter. She wasn't even going to pursue charges. She just wanted her money. But Cardi B intervened in the situation. And she pulled a Joy Taylor on this female chef. Remember, this is, a lot of Black women's like queen right here, Cardi B. A lot of feminists, that's their queen right there. But when push came to shove, she told an alleged victim, why are you making such a big deal out of this? What you doing? This is some interesting stuff. It's always the biggest feminist or the biggest symbol of feminism. And then once you look in their background, they're absolutely abhorrent and they're probably bigger misogynists than what you think we are. It's once you start seeing some of these text messages that or the information, the police reports, it's gonna shock you. This is some interesting stuff, man. So shout out. Let me see. Pyro says Pastor O Sky Daddy was showing you the style, Chris. Oh man. He says, all good, Chris. My condolences to his family. Yeah, man. He had I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he was well known. Sorry, not like famous. I'm just saying like he's well known for serving his community. He's one of those old school, pastors that really put the people first before his own. This is coming from the era where you had like a pastor that pastoring wasn't his like job. He had a community job and then he would pastor and then have their own church, right? And their track record with particularly these pastors that I'm talking about, their track record with young people, young men and young women is damn near floss. It's damn near floss. I don't know what the right term it is, but basically, if you're a family and you're growing up in that church, your family, the kids, the products of that, they end up way better later on in life They don't end up becoming drug addicts. They don't end up becoming troublemakers. They end up becoming great, productive citizens of the society. And he was part of the good in the world. And you know, the times that I would see him, I don't think I've ever seen him talk about himself at all. You know, very selfless individual. So shout out to him. Rest in peace. So out of like I said, out of respect, I'm not gonna do that stream. So we will continue back. We'll double back on the Stefon Diggs situation. This is very man, this is wild work. Man, this article right here. This is perfect. This is a perfect article. I'm glad I clicked People's Magazine because there were certain sites that I was looking at beforehand, and they were leaving out some things. So this is good. But anyways, let's go into Twitter again, right? Oh no, Instagram. I saw something interesting. I found a lady complaining. She was crying about the passport bros. Let me see if I can bring up that particular thing real quick. His friends, let's see that. Boom, boom. Okay, let's bring up the video. So, if you look at the thumbnail, I'm gonna share before I even share that video. Look at what it says right here: Christian passport bros. So now you have the Reformed 304s, or the so-called church girls. They're complaining about the Christian dudes in their churches or in their cathedrals, etc., etc. They're complaining about the Christian dudes becoming passport bros, or basically them importing their wives from other countries, right? And she's upset about this. And she's talking about this is and if you see in her thumbnail, she said this is a theological critique, which is cap. This is an emotional critique. But let's bring up the video. And whoa, what the? You go to the post. Okay, so this is interesting. They're not even allowing me to copy and paste. This is interesting. She thought, I feel like with her, and I rarely say I feel like on this channel, but I feel in my spirit, in my heart, she's one of those broads that thought that she could LARP. She could LARP in the church. She can go into one of these churches, LARP, act, play her little role, and then she can get a simp. And she probably, try to pretend being based, right? You know how those girls are. They pretend, they act like they're based, but they're not. Right? They think they can get a sucker. And even those dudes, even the suckers in the church are just like, particularly the young men, they're like, nah, we're not buying it. We're not buying the act anymore. So this is I want to see this. I want to see this in full in a full sense. Hold on for a second. So Pyro said, Chris, AJ has a Simp of the Year stream schedule. Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do a Simp of the Year. either tomorrow or on New Year's Day. Actually, because I don't think I'll have I don't think I'll have the requisite time to do it tomorrow. But I'll see. I'll try to see if I can do that as soon as possible. Oh yeah, that's what Pyro said. They ain't crying over men who they call losers. By the way, oh yeah, by the way, I had made a reply on there, and she responded quick, twice. She responded quick when I replied. I'm like, damn, this bitch ain't got nothing to do. I was surprised how quickly she responded, and the Reformed 304s, they come into these institutions. They really think they can pull they really think that they can play that role, and they think that men are not going to catch on to the tactics. Like, eventually, I'm like, you do know men are eventually gonna peep game. Remember when I was talking about even when XVY Jay-Z was in the chat, and we were talking about how very few of us really know about racism, right? When it comes to women using racism and acting like they're racist, right? to attract the white dude that they want. But it's a full facade. Once you start looking through their past, you're just like, wait a minute. You look at their dating history, you're just like, whoa, this is completely different than what they're saying right now. But it's all a dating strategy. So all the little things that they do to gain a simp in the future, or they think they could just go into a church and catch a lame, it's not working as well as it used to. But let me see if I can. Oh, my bad. I didn't even download the video. My bad, guys. I'm about to bring it up right here. I thought I downloaded it. Here we go, right here, guys.
Many of these same men will argue that immigration without assimilation fractures a nation, that without shared moral and cultural unity, it ends up creating instability. Yet they willingly introduce that same lack of assimilation into their marriage. Christian passport bros, let me be very precise in what I'm critiquing. This is not about a label. This is about an avoidance behavior that often shows up in what we call passport bro behavior. I am not talking about men who have faithfully discerned marriage abroad after being disciplined within their own faith and community. I'm talking about men who abandon discernment and then spiritualize desperation by changing geography. If you are lonely and discouraged, the answer is not to escape. It's deeper formation, deeper community, and actually exhausting all of the options that the church already gives us faithfully. Christian marriage has never been about convenience. It's about unity, shared unity in worship, faith, and morals. Orthodox, Catholic, and historical Protestant church teaching all say that we must be equally yoked because we are forming a true domestic church. And
sorry guys, I'm letting the video play first. I'm gonna give her. I gotta give her chance to speak before I break this down. So I'm gonna let it play all the way out.
This is why the assimilation issue matters. The church teaches that immigration carries shared responsibility of moral and spiritual unity. Marriage demands this even more because it's sacramental. You're not just marrying a person, you're creating the smallest unit of culture itself. Blaming Western culture misses the point. Christianity has always been countercultural, and there are plenty of women that already live this reality if they're devout. The issue is not geography, it's spiritual coherence. Marriage is not a response to frustration. It's self-denial in submission to Christ. You cannot demand assimilation publicly and excuse avoidance privately.
Yeah. Garrett said it perfectly. He said, I could see the cap in her eyes. And even right there, Pyro's like, he says, why is she speaking like that? Did y'all get it? Even her tonality, the way she speaks, it's all cap. It's all cap. People still falling for this though, but apparently not though. Apparently not. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. Shout out to the young men coming up. Shout out to the young men coming up. They really not falling for it. They really not falling for it because if she's coming online here to complain, that shows that. And then also, it's probably a dude that she or a couple of dudes that she found attractive at her home church, and she thought, okay, this is a easy simp that I could get, or she found somebody that she could use, and then she found that that guy is dating an immigrant or dating somebody completely out of the realm of possibility. Like he's dating a bitch from Ukraine or something, a bitch from Bangladesh, India, right? So this is, American broads that, unfortunately they're learning the hard way. But let's do a rewind, right? We got to do a rewind. We got to break this one down. This is one of my more. This is one of my more. This is one of my. I'll say this is one of my more favorite clips that I've seen so far, because these are the broads that think they're super smart. They think they're not like the other girls, right? Why don't you invite people like me on your show? First of all, you ain't nothing either. Look, if I'm gonna invite broads on this platform, it's gonna be productive broads. It's not gonna be a bish that is just going to repeat what I'm saying. The actions speak louder than words. I'll say this: the one woman that I would invite on this platform, if given the chance, I would invite Daphne. No, yeah, what's her name? The accountability queen. The reason why is, first of all, she says some things that I disagree with, but she puts in real work. She will go in Facebook chats and snitch on broads that are trying to set up cases against men. She's actually putting in work. And then on top of that, she's not a quote unquote pick me. She's already married. So you don't even got to worry about that. I don't know how old she is. She seems like she's in her 30s, so she's straight. She's straight. So it would probably be her, and then maybe Kendra from the Crimson Cure. Everybody else, I do not trust. I don't trust them at all. Pink Book Lessons, maybe. But that's me just being biased because she's a fan of Corey Holcomb, and you already know how I feel about Corey Holcomb. So maybe her, but I'll say Kendra from the I think that's her name, from the Crimson Cure, and the Queen of Accountability, and then that older white lady that's like a lawyer that be giving advice. I forgot what her name is, but she's had some decent clips. Everybody else, I don't trust them. I don't trust. First of all, I'm not going to trust what a girl in her 20s is saying, because at that point in her life, everything is it's performative. It's antics. She don't really believe what she's saying, especially if she's childless. Like you can't tell me, oh, I'm still single, but I'm a white girl. I'm single. I'm a base Christian female, whatever. But you over a certain age and you're single and you got no kids. Nah, something's not adding up. Because the bar is super low. So if I'm talking about you, a single white female or a single American raised Asian female, and you're talking about I can't find. Oh yeah, I'm this Christian single female, blah blah blah, and I'm this oh yeah, I'm Republican and I'm pro. Nah, but you 28 and you got nobody. Nah, something's off. so something's off. But anyways, let me do a replay on this. I want to break this down. This is one of my I like girls like this because they think they're so smart. They think they're better than the average broad, but they're even worse. But anyways, I'm gonna let this play.
Many of these same men will argue that immigration without assimilation fractures a nation, that without shared moral and cultural unity, it ends up creating instability.
Interesting.
Yet they willingly introduce that same lack of assimilation into their marriage. Christian passport bros.
Here we go again.
Yet they willingly introduce that same lack of assimilation into their marriage. Christian passport bros.
Interesting. So here, this reeks of, I adapted all of your talking points. I played a racist for you. I played bass for you. And you're talking about saving the nation, my white fertility rate, all of that, just for her to find out that all them dudes that she was LARPing for, they all got Asian broads, or they all got some of them got black broads, African broads. None of them can make it work with an American raised girl. So this is the ultimate, when people talk about pick me show or pick me girl, this is the ultimate pick me girl. This woman right here. I play bass for you, but you're still with a white girl. An Asian girl from the Philippines. I thought you loved your white race, but you're with a black girl. You're with a Colombian chick. How could you? Yo, this is funny, man. This is funny. Let me check out her in the meantime. Watch this. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show you her profile. This is funny. Let me see if I can put this. So let's check her profile out real quick before we come back to the video. Fiona Femoid, Catholic, counterculture max, sharing the theological truths no one wants to hear. Oh, Lord, have mercy. She really thinks. Oh, man. Here we go. Yeah, this is what you call a failed LARPer. A failed LARPer. That's the right term. A failed LARPer. How old is she? She's 24? Oh, no, that's somebody else. Yeah, this is a failed LARPer. Catholic, counterculture max, sharing the theological truth. Man, no, bitch, nobody want to hear what you got to say. Water God Zero said is a trap. Oh, man. Yes, this is true.
Let me be very.
This is true. Pyro says, why does she look like one of those girls who would trap you and she would say it's God's plan? She's the type. That's a very astute pickup. She is the type. She is definitely that kind of type. She is that type of girl. It's women like that I try to warn men about. Because it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out of them eventually. That programming, you just gotta probe them long enough, and that program will come out. That jealousy will come out. That evil, it'll come out.
Into their marriage. Christian passport bros. Let me be very precise in what I'm critiquing. This is not about a label. This is about an avoidance behavior that often shows up in what we call passport bro behavior. I am not talking about men who have faithfully discerned marriage abroad after being disciplined within their own faith and community. I'm talking about men who abandon discernment and then spiritualize desperation by changing geography.
Why didn't you pick me? Why didn't you pick me? All these big words, or what she thinks are big words that she's using. The mumbo jumbo. Gotta see past all that. It's just, I just hear a baby crying. It's just a baby. It's just, she's just crying about not being picked. Why didn't you pick me? After carefully discerning. But man, I'm like, bruh. Miss, you're not getting picked. You're not getting picked. She's trying to act like they're just, dudes is just picking broads from overseas as oh, they're just using that as an excuse to not find a real American woman, a real woman in their actual man, bruh, stop. The information is out there. People like me, right? Tooting my own horn, yes, I know, but there's too many people, especially there's too many people like me now where they're not afraid to speak on this side of the game. Forget the obvious OF broads, the Nala Rays of the world, the OF stars, the corn stars. That's obvious. That's easy work. We got to focus on the real problem. The LARPers like you. This is what I've been I hone in on. And you can tell because I'll say, oh, Riley Gaines, that ain't it. And I get a whole bunch of comments defending this broad. Meanwhile, Riley Gaines she's not even married to an American. She's married to a British. I can't say the full thing, right? She's married to a British small hat. But people praising her, right? She's not going, like, I bet you this, she won't criticize Riley Gaines for, quote unquote, dating outside of her Parisian, right? Of her geography, finding love outside of her community, her faith-based whatever. Even the dudes won't criticize her for that. So this weird thing where you got these broads criticizing a group of people or a certain type of dude that they're not attracted to in the first place, and then picking something else, even though they don't want nothing to do with those guys. This is something's wrong with hoes like this, man. Like, I can, at the end of the day, if you hate me, you don't like me, cool. But then, or you don't find me attractive, that's fine. But you can't be mad at me for choosing something else, but you don't fuck with me in the first. This is weird. This is pure weirdo behavior. So right here, Bald Eagle. I'm gonna just call you Bald Eagle. So Bald Eagle says, only issue I have with passport bros is they like to paint the whole country as not users. It's better overseas, but they know the game too. Yeah, but it's still better. It doesn't. It's still better. First of all, the women overseas are way prettier. Well, let's just, like, we get the bitches from overseas that travel to America. Those are the rejects, low key. and they're significant. We'll say like something like a Sofia Vergara is so pretty, or one of these broads that came over from overseas. They're so pretty, but really, if you put them and you match them against the actual women in their country, they won't even be rated a 6. They would be like they would be rated a 5. So that's already number one. The women overseas they're just prettier. Number 2, even the pay for play women are way prettier than the broads here. So imagine, even if you have a dude that's just going over there for pay for play purposes, he's literally getting the best at such a low cost at his disposal. There's literally no point of him coming back to America and trying to overpay for a lifetime over used up, damaged, beat up goods. That's asking for a 2027 price. Forget a 2026 price, a 2027 price. That's already number 2. Number 3, overseas, the women, they just treat men better. They just do. American women don't. They just, especially the young ones growing up, even the so-called good women, they weren't even the young, because even if she's a good person, it's most likely her mom did not train her or raise her up to, they don't know how to treat a man, how to behave in the presence of a man. So I'm talking about, like, you even go to even in some of the feminist countries, in these Nordic countries, the women over there, they yes, they're feminists, but at least they understand that, okay, I asked for equality. I got to start. That also means that comes with paying bills and stuff. So they still don't treat you a certain way. It's just, it is what it is. They actually respect the equality part of it. What the women in the States do is convenient feminism. All they want, all the good things about equality, but not the negatives. Cherry picking, right? You know, so yes, the passport bros have their flaws. I've said this many times, but like I said, cost benefit analysis. It's just cost benefit analysis. Cost benefit analysis at the end of the day. So, because yeah, I've seen a lot of passport bros get finesse. I've seen that. Trust me, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of dudes. They think they meet they girl, and then they bring him here, and I tell them, you gotta stay over there. If you're a real passport bro, you need to stay at that country, or I'll say stuff like this. I'm like, you can't go over there and you're broke. You can't do that. Don't do that, right? That's just stupid. But like I said, cost benefit analysis. Cost benefit analysis. If I'm doing a cost benefit analysis, and then I have the option to go overseas, I'm taking it. I'm telling you guys right now on this channel right here. If they're telling me, if like, say, if my immediate family, and they're telling me, dude, you need to find a wife in this amount of time. If you don't, then you're out of this family. What I will do is I will just take the L. If I have to bring a bish, like if I have to stay in the States, I will just take that L and then just go overseas and bring the bish here. And just be like, all right, and then I'll just have to take the L once it goes bad. But at least I will experience at least 5 uninterrupted years of how I'm supposed to be treated as a man with a broad. At least I'll have 5 years of that. But if I have the option to go overseas and then to stay there, that's what I'm going to do. As I'm talking about, just off rip. Let me see. Bald Eagle says, I'm not denying that I'm not. He said, I am not even attracted to most American women anymore. Oh, no, I understand what you're saying. But it's just, like I said, like, obviously the passport bros have their flaws, but I don't even want to join in pointing out the passport bros flaws. I don't want to do that because there's just too many people doing that. That's why you don't even really see me go in on them, even though there's definitely a lot of flaws with that. But I don't even want to join in on that because I feel like, damn, I said that again. But I think it's a form. Anytime if like me having critique on them, it's a form of sack watching. So I don't want to even indulge in that. But we can definitely talk about the holes in the passport bro game. But if you like, and trust me, even the dudes that were victims of finesse, they're still not going to date American women. They're not going to do it. They're still not going to marry in America. They're not going to do it. Even the ones that have gotten finesse, they're just not. They're not going to do it. There's just too much to lose here. Too much open hate for men, just open misandry that they will, like, imagine this. The average man, they'll take the risk. they'll put their life on the line just to experience how they're just supposed to be treated. It's not even king treatment. It's just to be treated like a normal human being. Bald Eagle says, I don't date. I have no attracted to them. You start seeing Japanese and Asian women and you're ruined. Exact. Yeah. Facts. Like, yeah. I always say this, like, I saw something earlier this week and it was a couple of dudes because, they were saying, oh, my dating experience is ruined because I'm short. And then I'll ask, okay, how tall are you? Well, I'm 5'9", I'm 5'10". I'm like, first of all, if you're 5'8", you're not short. Basically, anything under 5'8" is short. If you're 5'8", 5'9", you're a normal sized man. And I literally told him, like, just date Asian chicks and you'll be fine. I always just tell people, just date Asian chicks, right? Just date Asian. You'll be fine. You'll like this stuff as a man. Like, you got these dudes are 5'10", 5'11", and they think they're short. Like, guys, say if all the men somehow we do something and then we're all 6 feet and up, right? Like what the women are quote unquote asking for. That's not going to do anything. That actually ruins the market because you know what's going to happen? Okay, say everybody becomes 6 feet tall. You know what women are going to say? Well, I want 6'5". That's what they're going to do. These people doing these height lengthening surgery, you wasting your time. You're just going to lose your bitch to somebody taller or even shorter than you. Or you're just going to lose to bitches. You're just going to lose bitches to dudes that was already your height to begin with. Exactly. Watch this. Pyro the Flame King says women are going to find a guy that is 7 foot. Exactly. Like, they've shown the stats. They show that women have, when it comes to like the height filter on the dating apps, they were searching for 7 feet way more than 5'11". So it's just the average. You can't if you're a man, you can't lose your self-esteem off of that. That's not something you should base your worth on. That, but a lot of the men coming up, they're very autistic, so they take what women say to heart, So that's why I always say, like, if you're really feeling bad about this, just date an Asian chick, you'll be fine. If you can do it, date an Asian chick. But I've come to discover that, when it comes to dating outside the race, people are very committed to their race. Like a lot of white dudes, they're like, no, I want my white queen. A lot of black dudes, I want my black queen, right? Even though black women are literally at the bottom when it comes to dating. It's just, you know, particularly I'll say, yeah, particularly black American men and white American men are very race loyal, right? But if your self-esteem is that bad where you're 5'10" or you're 5'9" and you think you're short, yeah, you're right. And even if you are a shorter man, just like I said, just date Asian. Because a lot of these chicks, the average chick is like 5'3", 5'4". And if they seem bigger, it's because they're wearing heels and they're fatter. I'm telling you, that's all it is. Because like even like the average 5'2" chick here in the States, it's a little bit different than like the average 5 foot chick overseas, because overseas the woman is actually not a freaking tapir, a walrus. Right? So they're actually you think that the girl is smaller, or you're like, oh, she's really tiny, but she's not. She's the average size woman. It's just that she's not she's not a balloon, she's not a whale, right? The average woman the average weight of the American woman is more than men. Like you got like that, like the average weight of a Gen Z woman is like, it's like 160 pounds or something like that, something crazy. Like that's wild. These women are weighing more than men, like weighing more than men, most of them, more than their young male counterparts. And and people for some reason can't fathom why they want this 6'7" demigod that can lift weights and do all these things, because they're too fat. If you're a regular woman, it doesn't really matter really what height, but if you're in shape, you're fine. You're good. You can find a man. You won't need because most, like a woman that's like regular, that's not a tapir, you can still lift them up. It's no big deal. It's just now the average woman is literally their weight is out of control, right? But anyways, let's keep this thing playing real quick.
If you are lonely and discouraged, the answer is not to escape.
Yes, it is. She said, if you're lonely and discouraged, if you're a single man in church and you can't find the woman that you're looking for, don't escape. Don't go to another country. Don't explore. Hell, I'll say this for me. Just a lot of times, all you got to do is travel out of state. Forget the country. Sometimes a lot of dudes, they're caught up in dating is because they're still dating in the same city. They're still dating in the same county. A lot of the times it's just a different change of scenery, just a state, and you're fine, But here, you have abroad here. If you're lonely and discouraged as a man, don't leave. Yes, leave. If you don't feel that welcome, leave.
The answer is not to escape. It's deeper formation, deeper community, and actually exhausting all of the options that the church already gives us faithfully. Christian marriage.
Are you serious? It's hoes in church. That's it. Exhaust all. If you need to exhaust all your options, so even nah. What do I keep telling you guys? Your biggest superpower as a man is the ability to walk away. This is why they always get mad at what do they say? Don't be a deadbeat. Don't walk away from your as a man, your ability to walk away, that's your leverage. And they always try to take that leverage away from a man just walking away, because that would require them to actually do things for you to stay. And they don't want to do those things.
Marriage has never been about convenience. It's about unity, shared unity, and worship.
Well, hold on. What she said? Did she say Christian marriage isn't about convenience? Wait, what?
Christian marriage has never been about convenience. It's about unity, shared unity in worship, faith, and morals.
So there's no, we're not even allowed to look for convenience. We're not even allowed to look for easy. We're not even allowed to, as a man, look for something that's soft, something that gives us ease. Nope. You got to go through the fire. We got to do all of this. just to get with a bitch that's been ran through. And then once you get with the bitch, she's not even gonna fuck you. What man is taking that deal?
Orthodox, Catholic, and historical Protestant church teaching all say that we must be equally yoked because we are forming a true domestic church.
Okay, now she's sounding like Andrew Wilson. But at the Protestant church, or at the Orthodox church, we don't do, okay. We already know what kind of time you want.
And this is why the assimilation issue matters. The church teaches that immigration carries shared responsibility of moral and spiritual unity. Marriage demands this even more because it's sacramental. You're not just marrying a person, you're creating the smallest unit of culture itself. Blaming.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not marrying just a person. I'm marrying a thought. if I'm taking a bitch from church. You're right. Oh man. And by the way, I hope I don't think she understands. It's not just the immigrant broads you're gonna have to worry about. AI bitches. Once that drops, once them AI bitches drop, it's gonna be a lot of hoes, particularly of Gen Z and young millennial and Gen Alpha's ilk, that they're gonna be shit out of luck because none of them have been brought up or taught to cater to a man. This is why you see all these now you're seeing a rise in these young athletes dating 40-year-old women and women in their late 30s and all this stuff. Because that's probably the last of a generation where they probably know how to cook. They probably know how to do certain things to keep a man around. They're older predators, so they understand what makes a man tick and stuff like that. And then you have these young women who took the advice of the older woman and they taught these broads basically just to not respect your male counterparts. Just don't respect them. Treat them like doggish. They're replaceable. They're expendable, etc., etc. Meanwhile, these same old broads are taking your man. it's and bragging about it too.
Western culture misses the point. Christianity has always been countercultural, and there are plenty of women that already live this reality if they're devout.
Like me, I'm counterculture. I'm based. I don't like immigrants as well. Why don't you like immigrants with me? Well, at the end of the day, it's like what the homie said. If dudes was out here was pro-immigration because of the bitches, every bitch would be anti-immigration. She's tight that she thought she could be anti-immigration with the homies, but she's seeing that the homies is keeping the immigrant bitches. She don't understand how this game works, man.
The issue is not geography, it's spiritual coherence.
Nah, the issue is definitely geography. Oh, what she say? Spiritual incoherence? Nah, it's geography. First of all, you got bitches from Brazil. They're more like a bitch from Brazil is more spiritual than the average. Like they're more Catholic or more devoutly Christian than the average American bitch, just in general. She act like Portugal and Spain and these countries, or the average South American woman is way more religious. Like, are you kidding? It's not even close. So you can talk about spiritual incoherence. Nah, these places are devoutly Catholic / Christian as well. You know, this whole narrative that they try to paint that these women from these other countries are just these poor, uneducated women that can't speak. It's wild. What, like, the way they paint these women as these people that don't know what they're doing, and they're like, it's really disrespectful when you think about it.
Marriage is not a response to frustration. It's self-denial and submission to Christ. You cannot demand assimilation publicly and excuse us privately.
Yeah, she's just tight that the dudes that she was LARPing for, the dudes, the white supremacist dudes that she was LARPing for, they all got Asian broads, or they got brown broads, or they have bitches that is not from America, basically. And it's okay. I understand her frustration, but you know, bitch, you've been warned. Anywho, when you look at her page, though, everything that I talk about, yeah, it looks like I'm pretty sure her videos are gonna come through the algorithm. Why you can't find a godly spouse. Oh, let me read her caption for that video. The Christian Passport Bros. What did she say? She said, "This is not a critique of discerning marriage abroad. It is a critique of abandoning formation and discernment out of frustration and then spiritualize and escape. Christian marriage has always required unity of faith, worship, and moral vision. Geography does not replace coherence." That's very, I don't like the way she said this. Geography does not replace coherence, as if, you know, there's like no Christians abroad. There's no devout Catholics abroad. Like, I don't like the way she put that. But anyways, she goes on to say, if this resonates, share it with a Christian brother who needs to hear it. Oh man. Somebody said, you're just butthurt because they're not picking you up. Facts. Shout out to the Gazing Artist 2000. Let me read this comment. I like this. I'm already liking this comment already. He said, let me think. Why would I want someone who has given herself to the world from the start, and when things get hard 10 years later, they quote unquote find God, when women elsewhere don't do what Western women do? Well, technically they do the same overseas, but they understand there's a time limit. But anyways, he says, let's be honest, there is not a large percentage of devout Christian women in our society, so much to the point that the entire world knows. Facts. He goes on to say, but don't blame most men or say that it's our fault when there's a large lack of Christian women from the start of their adulthood. Am I a passport bro? No, I'm not, but you just created one. You basically said, in short, that men should give up on foreign marriage and just accept all the Western used lackluster women our society has to offer. No thanks, bro. Shout out to this comment. This comment deserves a round of applause. Shout out to that comment. This is, you know, this is this is what I've been talking about. This is literally what I've been talking about on my channel. They act like the majority of men or in these spaces are quote unquote passport bros. No, that's a small percentage of men, anyways. But she's still fearful. She's still fearful. Because most women, I think most women like her, they know low key, they know deep down in their heart, they know they have literally nothing to offer men, but some other niggas' kids, or just used up box. That's literally all they have. She's trying to use, theology and all this stuff just to cover for the fact that she can't get picked. So shout out to this guy right here, because even it looks like even the quote unquote, the non-passport bros, they're picking up on the cope from this woman. So right here, shout out to this commenter. He says, I think there's some truth to what you're saying, but this sounds like cope to me. He says, so a sub 5 or a mid guy is supposed to flounder around getting nothing in the West in this terrible dating market. This prevents good dudes getting marriages and prevents family formation, as all the lower tier guys can't get married. Not to mention the fact that young women tend to be leftists while young men lean right on average in America, shrinking the dating pool even more. If a brother can't get any in the West, then why not go find a wife somewhere that's more religious and conservative? And if you go to certain countries, right, I'm kind of riffing off the comment. If you go to certain other countries, you're going to find not only a prettier chick, but you'll find most likely a actual religiously devout chick that's actually has the fear of God in her, right? So going back to this comment, he says, luckily, I haven't needed to do that, but have some sympathy for all of our chopped and broke brothers in Christ out here. Oh, man. He says, for any guys trying to do this, don't be a beta bugs. Find a woman who actually likes you when you're out there geomaxing. Good luck, right? So shout out to this guy for this is a honest perspective. This is an honest perspective from a regular dude, right? I like his perspective, but he knows like what she's doing. This is cope. This is cope. But anyways, women like to complain about the dating market that they created. And now you're shocked at the results. Oh, man. Oh, sorry. Had to do a little stretch. Oh, did you guys also see this clip from our one and only, the true and only, what's her face? Claudia Jordan. Let me see if I can put this up here. Okay. Let me see if I can put this on real quick. Claudia Jordan says, I lost out on a lot of great men by thinking I had forever to settle down. So here we are. You already know the Kevin Samuelites are going to go ham over this. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, right? But Claudia Jordan, she's been warned plenty. She's been warned plenty, And how old is Claudia Jordan? Let me see. Claudia Jordan, age 52 years old. What is she talking about? Started? Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway. Oh man, hold on for a sec. Let's play this.
When you're ready to settle down, that there's always going to be a lot of supply on the shelves. And it's not. Like at this age, a lot of the good guys are married or taken because they're good guys. And I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine the other day, and I'm like, well, your best bet now is maybe someone that a good man that maybe is coming out of a marriage, getting a divorce. So, I think in our youth, and I would like people to know this, when they're younger, we think, oh, there's always going to be an endless supply. I can wait till tomorrow. Don't put off your happiness waiting. If you find that good person, like a lot of times we wait, well, it's not the right time. It's never going to be like the right time. I would say go for it more. I wish I would have told someone told me just go for it. I probably have overlooked a good candidate before.
Maybe, why is that though?
Me thinking the timing thing, maybe prioritizing career. I definitely was always like work. I never.
So all these things that she's saying, this is the stuff that all of our heroes got demonetized for saying. This is nasty work. Everything that she's saying, and everything that she's spewing out right now, these are the things that her fellow female colleagues or her fellow female peers have called us insecure for saying. Mind you, this is what, like, she says it, she don't lose her platform. I say it, I get a strike. Or Sandman says it, he damn near loses his channel how many umpteenth times, right? So, or how about one of the popular guys, right? Kevin Samuel says it, they call him gay. So it's interesting now seeing a lot of these broads repeating the things, saying the things that we not only told them about, warned them about, and now they get to just say with full impunity, not worried about their channels getting strikes.
Never thought I had enough cushion built up to like relax and take my foot off the gas and start a family.
And then did that just go on and on and on, and then you be 100 years old
still working? But you think that
somebody in the comments said, but when Kevin Samuel said it, I see a lot of female cope in the comments. But I remember seeing a clip of Claudia Jordan with this dude talking about she wanted to start a family, and at the time she was like 48 or 49. I'm like, what are you talking? Those, because Claudia Jordan, she still doesn't have. I don't think she's ever been married, but I know she doesn't. She doesn't have any kids, and she never had one. Now I'm pretty sure she's had a couple of abortions, right? But she doesn't have any kids. And she's talking about starting a family and all these things. I remember Michael Blackson heard this. He said, what are you talking? She's 48. He said, isn't this bitch 47 years old? What's she talking about? But yeah, she's 52. And Claudia Jordan has had plenty of opportunity to get her relationship life together. But her relationship life, her history of the men that she's chose, like, it's disastrous. I even remember like one time she was dating this dude who was clearly gay. He was clearly gay. I remember she went on like a rant, like she was complaining about her ex slamming her head on the toilet seat after checking his phone, or threatening to check his phone. And I remember hearing that story and I was like, okay, this means one or two things. That guy must be sleeping with her mom or her sister or something, or that guy is gay and he's hiding messages from ninjas, right? And then lo and behold, I do the research at the guy that she was talking about, and I see the first picture of him, and it's clear as day this guy's gay. I'm talking about clear. It's not. It can't even be. It could be no more obvious, and it's clear that if you check this phone, you would have found some niggas on there. But anyways, let's go back to the main event. Let me go back to the main topic here. Yeah, exactly. She had 30 years. That's Power of the Flame King said. Yeah, she had 30 years to do that. Yeah, even when I went to the funeral earlier today, like I'm seeing the women at that age range that I saw at the funeral, they already have grandkids. Like, or they're like their daughter is pregnant, or their son has a woman and they're about to be like at 52. What are you talking about? Starting a family. Oh my god, man, the delusion. But this is what happened, particularly with black women, particularly like I'll say good looking black women that don't age bad. They really think their time clock is like really ever long. And I'm not saying there's nothing to that, but that doesn't mean you're going into your 50s and you think you're going to have your first child. That's not going to happen. Biology is biology. Like, I don't know what is it. I don't know, maybe black women think they have a superpower, but they don't understand it's just the sun, right? White women age bad because of the sun. This is why you'll have certain and the reason why you'll have Asian women, they'll age good because they'll age well because they understand what the sun does. So you'll have Asian women, they'll always have a black umbrella. Every time they're out in the sun, they protect themselves from the sun because they understand they have lighter skin. They have a different diet. If you live in a certain Asian country, you have a different diet that you're living on. So a lot of black women, they think it's like, oh, I have a superpower. I can just be as old as nah, it doesn't work. It's biology's biology. I don't care how good you think you look. If you're in your 50s and you're trying to have your first child, when you hear women say, oh, I knew this one couple or this one lady, she had a kid at 38, 39, but they never ask, was that your first kid? Now, if the woman if she had a kid already, of course she can have another kid later on in life. She's already had one. The body adapts itself. So even if it's like 10 years later and like she had her first kid at 28, right? And then it's like she's 35. Of course she can have another kid at 35, of course. But anyways, let's go back to the Stefon Diggs situation. Let's talk more about that. Cardi B left her marriage with her cheating man, Offset, for a serial sexual deviant, a serial cheater in Stefon Diggs, a serial womanizer in Stefon Diggs. Right here, reading from the headline again, it says Stefon Diggs accused of choking female chef, then throwing her on bed for requesting back pay. And now, once you see female chef, you already know what that means. One of these private chefs that you see on IG, she ain't no private chef. She's a private escort that uses her, and her cover is private chef. But that's a whole other story for another day. Let's read the details. Need to know, Stefon Diggs is accused of A-wording his chef on December 2nd after the two argued over back pay she claimed was owed to her, according to a police report obtained by People's Magazine. Number two, the chef did not report the alleged incident until December 16th and did not decide to formally press charges until December 23rd, according to the police report. Diggs has yet to speak publicly about the matter, but his lawyer tells People that he categorically denies the allegations, right? Says the woman accusing Stefon Diggs of A-wording her, that the New England Patriots player became upset after she insisted on being compensated for her services as a private chef. So we already know what happened. He slid in them DMs. He said, why don't you come to my house and cook for me? You know how ninjas are. You know how ninjas like Stefon Diggs is. They probably had a little bit of what you might call it, a situationship. they were friends with benefits for like a couple of weeks, but she probably thought, oh, but I'm a private chef. I do cook for him sometimes. He's gonna eventually hire me as his actual private chef. No. that's not how this works, sweetie. And when Stefon Diggs was like, look, I'm not hiring you as a private chef. I already have a private chef. I already have one. You was just here to just, just wanted to smash and, see if you can also cook as well. You put on a good show, but now you got to leave. So once she found out that there was nothing to it, she was nothing more but than a free booty call. She tried to put a bill on this ninja. You need to pay me for my services. Anyways, reading again from the article, continuing to read from the article, says the incident allegedly happened on December 2nd at Diggs' $2.5 million home in Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston Dedham, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston located just 15 miles south of the city. Diggs' private chef at the time alleged that she approached him about back pay. She claimed he owed her, and things quickly escalated. According to a police report obtained by People's Magazine, the woman told police that she was in her bedroom when Diggs walked in after the two had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to her. Yeah, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, yeah, this was a sexual relationship. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I got a picture of the chef. I got a picture of her. And I got a picture of her and the text exchange via TMZ. She's a living a living chef. We already know what that is. Yo, why? Look at this tweet. This tweet is funny. This says Stefon Diggs had a chef with a BBL. That's the wildest dude to ever exist. Yo, that's funny. Hold on for a sec. Let me see if I can bring up the picture of the broad. Yeah, here we go. This was his private chef, everybody. His live-in private chef. That's funny, man. That's funny. Oh yeah, I'm a private chef. Yeah, like hell you are. Oh my goodness, man. This is comedy. At this point, this is just comedy. This is comedy, man. I remember I was talking to G-Man in the comment section, and like at this point, we're just at this point, particularly men in this space. You need to be at that point where this is just comedy. You don't even take this stuff seriously anymore, man. All you do is just use this, and you use this as a lesson. You use this to show the truth in things, but this is some funny stuff. He said the woman told police that she was in her bedroom when Diggs walked in after the two had been having an ongoing text exchange over money owed to her. So let's bring up the text exchange right here. I don't know if I can zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Here we go. Okay. She sent the screenshots to TMZ. And mind you, she labeled him D1. She didn't even put Stefon Diggs' name as the contact, name. She labeled him D1. So you know that's a quote unquote client per se. But oh yeah, this is also another, when I keep talking about how ninjas are trying to work the game, hiring women that they know belong to the streets, hiring women that they know are undercover escorts, and trying to finesse them out of pussy without paying them. Like, but the problem is when these dudes with clout and they invite these women there and then they sell them a dream, those women really believe it. They really believe that, oh, I'm really special. A guy with a blue check wanted me at his house, and then once he kicks them out without paying them, then he's like, wait, what about my money? You should have asked for the money up front. That's how it works. But since it's a guy with a blue check, since it's a guy with fame, they let it slide. But anyways, here you have Diggs texting her first. Well, she shows Diggs right here up top. So Diggs is the one in black, and she is the one with the actual text bubbles, around her. So right here starts with Diggs saying, down for having a texting match. You got it. Cool. She replies back, you will be paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my effing time being here because you got an effing circus going on. I'm out of your life. Now, you don't write a text to a man like that you're not sleeping with. You don't text a man like that's a text you give to a man that you're in basically a relationship with. This is not no a message that you send to a client. Only unless if you're in a relationship, that's not the type of text you send. Here, Diggs doubles down. He said, I won't be paying you ish. He said, F I look like paying you and paying another chef. So this is where I come to the conclusion when I saw that text. When he said, F I look like paying you and another chef, that means he already has his own chef. She really thought that Diggs thought that she was talented. No, he was just using you as toilet tissue for that night, or those couple of weeks that you were staying at his residence as a live-in chef. So your job was to be basically a lingerie chef for that period of time, even though he didn't hire you for it. That's really, because the problem is when you got these chicks, they do these services for these athletes for free. And when these athletes kick him out because she's thinking that, oh, I'm working up my rapport with him if I don't ask for money up front. By the way, you athletes, just to let you guys know, if she's not asking for money up front, she's trying to rob you on the back end. Because what she's thinking is, oh, let me not charge him because he's a celebrity, and then I can be on his good side and blah blah blah, and then I'll work my way in. You know, it's one of those. It's almost like one of these bands that do shows and they don't ask for money because of the promotion. Nah, don't do that to yourself. You're gonna end up looking stupid. She really thought Diggs invited her over because she was talented. You were an unpaid live-in chef. This got to be one of the stupidest bitches of all time, bro. You were living. She thought being a free living chef was gonna build up rapport with Diggs. And when Diggs was like, okay, your time is up. Your 2-week trial is over. Now you want to ask for money. Now Diggs is stupid for not paying her up front in the first place, but these bitches out here, they don't know how to do business. They need pimps. If she had a pimp, she would not be in a situation like that. This is the same type of bitch Oh, you can't talk to me if you a regular dude, if you're not paying, you're not giving me a cash app before you talking to me. And then it's a dude with a blue check or a dude with a little bit of status that actually can afford to pay her for being a 304, and they don't ask them for no money. So she thought that she was going to work her way into becoming his real private chef. She was going to work for free and work her way into that position. Pure level of Delulu. But anyways, reading more from his text, he said, the F I look like paying you and paying another chef. He said, is you high? Who the F is giving you money for your business? I don't got to do an MFing thing, and you can get whoever you want. You got my address. Tell them come take the money. F you talking about? Show me I'm pussy. Right? So that was the text exchange. That was the first page of the text exchange. Let's open up the next page of the text exchange. Right here. He said, oh, she replied back, your wife is paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Or, oh, no. Oh, no, sorry. That's the same. Sorry, she didn't say wife. My bad. Oh, it's the same text. My bad. It's the same text. That's the only text thread right here. But anyways, yeah, that's not this bitch needs she not even what did that comedian Gerard Butler say? You're not even good at making deals, bitch. What's that comedian's name? Gerard Butler. I think that's his name. You're not even good at making deals, bitch. Anyways. They say Diggs and the woman began to discuss the matter, which apparently angered the NFL star, she alleged in her interview. She alleged that Diggs then smacked her across the face and she pushed him away. According to the report, Diggs is then accused of again attacking the woman who alleged in her interview with police that he tried to choke her using the crook of his elbow around her neck. She told the police that she did have trouble breathing and could have blacked out, and also alleged that as she tried to pry Diggs' arm away, he tightened his grip. Diggs allegedly released her at some point and threw her on the bed. That's where I was confused. I'm like, threw her on the bed. I'm like, what? Where is a bed coming in? I thought she was a chef. What a bed got to do with a chef? Then I was like, oh, okay. I know what that is. Reading from the article again, says she alleged that Diggs then left the bedroom and said, thought so. The woman left the home that night, but did not speak to police until December 16th and said she was initially hesitant to file a formal report. On December 23rd, however, she had a change of heart and contacted police to inform them she wished to press charges, according to the report. Right now, they're pocket watching Diggs right here. David Mayer, who is representing Diggs, went on to call the allegations substantiated and uncorroborated before adding that they were never investigated because they did not occur. He called the allegations a direct result of an employee-employer financial dispute that was not resolved to the employee's satisfaction. Yeah, exactly. But like I said, a lot of these dudes, they bring that upon themselves. So the Patriots said in the statement, Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities and the NFL as necessary. The NFL said the league was monitoring the situation. Okay. Oh, Lord, let me not show that picture. Somebody said New Diggs was a terrible ninja when his entire locker room was against him dating their sister. Oh, man. But I remember when that clip went viral, this clip, we already knew what type of dude Diggs was after this clip came viral.
What guy on the team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man, no. We're going to leave it like that. No.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just.
Hey, yo. Convenient timing. Garrett Grant says change of heart right before the playoffs. Yeah, this is true. Convenient timing. And then I'm gonna show you Cardi B's part in it in a little bit. Watch this. Right after this clip. Oh, I didn't even press play. Golly. Here we go.
Outrageous. Don't know what he's gonna say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least I should date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, you're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Would nobody want me to date his sister? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what.
Yeah, that Dalvin Cook's turn, that always gets me every time. When I see that turn, he goes, Diggs. He's like, what the Diggs? he locked in real quick. Man. And mind you, he was wide receiver number 1 when he was at the Vikings. He was wide receiver number 1. And for his teammates to still throw him under the bus, and you wide receiver number 1, that it tells me everything I need to know about you. You know, and I said this earlier because I remember I think Pyro was on the panel when I said this. Usually when it comes to stories like this or even essay charges, I kind of chop it to the game because I know they lie on athletes all the time. But when we talk about people like Stefon Diggs, I've always had this sneaky suspicion that he was a sexual deviant. He's one of those guys you really can't trust. You really can't trust him around no girl. But he's one of those guys that still gets plenty of punani. It's just he's a deviant. And he's going to get himself in trouble. Like, he's the type of dude where I remember saying this on this channel. I said, like, Cardi B might have to be careful. Like, she really needs to take precautions when messing with Stefon Diggs, because he's the type to spread an STI knowingly and unknowingly and still have the same reaction. He's the type of dude to do something like that. Like, he's like a you know, what's that guy that was spreading herpes to those OF models? Gucci third leg, right? He's got that same mentality that these are sexual deviants, right? R. Kelly, sexual deviant. Trey Songz, it's been well documented, sexual deviant. And so much so when you see, because guys like that who are sexual deviants, you'll also hear rumors about them being with dudes as well. And I even said this even before the rumors came out. I was like, with Stefon Diggs, it wouldn't even surprise me if something happens, if a man comes out and say, he touched me, he felt me up one time. So this dude got the DL rumors going for him. He's gotten like 4 women pregnant in the span of a year. I mean, he's in my, this is not his first time being reprimanded or, being reprimanded for assault when it comes to men or women. So he has all of these marks going against him. He has all of that going against him. So when it comes to him, even if he's innocent, oh yeah, Diddy, another example of a sexual deviant. He's got that kind of vibe to him where he's just gonna fuck anything with a hole. And you see it with the people that he chooses to impregnate. You see it with the people that he chooses to associate or date. You see this. But yeah, that turn, that always gets me every single time with Dalvin Cook. That's just hilarious.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man. No. Don't leave it like
that. His reaction is great. That's classic. That's classic. By the way, most of the people they asked him like, who would you rather your sister date? They all said all of them said like Adam Thielen and this one other dude. I forgot his name. I forgot who was at the team at that time. But yeah, Diggs was the runaway. Everybody said Diggs. Hell no. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. But anyways, can I hit back on this? I might have to look through my bookmarks again to see to get what I'm looking for. Here we go. Yep, so this is where Cardi B comes in. So remember the gap, right? So she went to the police the night it happened, but she basically dropped it. She wasn't going to push through with it. But she said she had a change of heart in that gap. So what date was that? I think that was, yeah. She had left the home that night, but did not speak to the police until December 16th. And there's a gap between the 16th and the 23rd. So she spoke to the police on December 16th, but was hesitant to file a formal report. So, but they said on December 23rd, she had a change of heart and contacted police to inform them she wishes to press charges. So that is convenient timing. Playoffs are about to start, and now you want to, but not. I believe it's not just that. That wasn't the only factor. I don't believe that was the only factor. I'm not even saying like I believe that was one of the main factors, the attention part of it. But there's another factor to this. Watch this. Right here. When you look at the police report, let's see if we can zoom in. Okay, let's see if we can zoom in here. Well, I don't know how far. Let me see how far I can zoom in on this. Here we go. When we look at this report, look at the police report. This meant she would also have to vacate her room for a week because he was having house guests. He told her to go home. Oh, sorry, reading from the police report. He told her to go home, and she said he did not provide any financial assistance for a fight to blah, blah, blah. That is where she was going to stay with a friend. She said that since she did not ask to be sent home for a week, she should still be paid her salary. She said that is standard in the type of work arrangement unless the employee asks for the time off. After the alleged assault on the 2nd of December, Adams left her position and left the residence to stay with a friend in blank. She said that on the 9th, she returned to the house to get her property. At that point, she texted with Diggs, who told her to take up the monetary sum with his assistant. She spoke to Melissa from finance, who explained that Diggs had requested to sign a non-disclosure agreement from Adams before she could be paid. Adams did not sign any such document. So yeah, Diggs already he already fucked up. He already fucked up. He wanted her to sign an NDA after the fact, and she was like, nah. I told Adams that we could proceed with an investigation and file charges. So right here, this is what we're looking for right here. It says, I told Adams that we could proceed with an investigation and file charges, but she said that she did not want any charges filed at this time. I told her that as the victim, an officer would be following up regardless. I also let her know that if her mind changed, we could certainly go ahead with further investigation and charges. I also explained the process to her in regard to obtaining a restraining order. She said that she did not wish to seek one. She said that she just wanted to go home and had no intentions of returning. Adams was also going to email me any screenshots related to this incident at her convenience. I also sent her the DV risk assessment form and strangulation suffocation form via email. Well, the reason why she didn't press charges, in my opinion, is because there's probably nothing to the choking. They probably can dismiss that as, oh, I was choking her during sex or something like that, right? Even though he probably did choke her, right? But she played herself. So I'm pretty sure that's why she initially didn't want to press charges. She played her own self, right? It says the screenshots were sent to me and added to the incident. These came from a different number than initially provided. When I inquired about this discrepancy, Adams identified this as a number where she had communicated with Diggs in the past on the burner phone, where she do all her dirt. How much you want to bet that private chef, that living chef, she has a husband or a boyfriend? But anyways, I digress. Reading from the police report again. On December 20th, at around 9:45, I spoke to Adams over the phone. We discussed how she would like to proceed. As of this date, she still wanted to hold off on any criminal charges being filed. She asked that I reach out to Diggs and ask him not to contact her anymore. She said that earlier in the week, she received a voicemail and text messages from a female that she believed to be Diggs' girlfriend. Now, when you say Diggs' girlfriend, you got to ask which one. And this is most likely Cardi B. But since he has multiple girlfriends, they can't say outright Cardi B. Okay, they say based on these messages, Adams believed that Diggs somehow knew that the police were contacted. The messages stated something in the effect of, you do not need to do all of this. It's not that big of a deal. So here we have Mrs. Women Empowerment herself, Mrs. Cardi B, defending an alleged man that allegedly puts his hands on women. This is your queen. All of a sudden, we victim blaming. When it comes to when it starts to affect her bottom line, because she didn't want it to look bad on her end. When it looked like it was going to look bad on her end, what did she say? Hey, you don't need to do all this. This ain't a big deal. What my boyfriend did to you ain't no big deal. I don't care if he put his hands on you or not. This ain't nothing. She sounded like me now. This is crazy work. She goes, the police goes on to say, I assured Adams, and Adams, by the way, that's the private chef. That's the female private chef. He goes, I assured Adams that Diggs had not been contacted yet by any members of the Dedham police. In an attempt to fulfill Adams' request to contact Diggs at 10:10 a.m. on December 20th, I contacted Diggs at the number provided to me by Adams. The call went straight to voicemail. I identified myself and asked for a call back. On December 22nd, around 1:30, I attempted to contact Diggs for a second time. It also went straight to voicemail, and I left a second message. I notified Adams, and she also sent me an email for a woman that handles Diggs' business interests. If I have not received a call by the 23rd of December, I will reach out to her. In the meantime, I received an email and voicemail from Adams 2:12 p.m. and 2:24 p.m. on December 22nd. The voicemail expressed interest in going ahead with criminal charges. I called her twice around 9:25 on the 23rd of December, and the number went to voicemail both times. I left a voicemail after the second call. So basically, to sum all this up, if it wasn't for Cardi B, she probably would have jumped. She would have dropped the whole matter. Now, I think she was going to eventually press charges at a convenient time. She was probably going to wait. She was probably going to wait till like until until like they're already deep into the playoffs, and then it was going to be like Super Bowl time. I think that was her plan, to be like, look, if I don't get my money by Super Bowl time, I'm going to press charges, right? But hearing the voicemail from Cardi B, and probably Cardi B's people were harassing her, most likely, her PR team, her social media team, etc., the assistant. So she probably was like, you know what? Nah, enough of this. Before I go missing, I'm going to put this out there. Before I go missing. So shout out to Cardi B for the misogyny, right? Oh man. OJ Desire 936 says Cardi B is in too deep. She can't turn around now. Facts. That's facts. She can't admit that she was wrong. That she should have never even she should have never been with Stefon Diggs, never, let alone let him knock you up along with 3 other bitches in the same year. This is crazy work. Somebody said she's evil for this. Yeah, he was fucking that girl. Yeah, that's what I believe. He was clearly sleeping with that private chef. It's obvious as day. Yeah, but it looks like due to Cardi B basically harassing her. She's not going to put it like that, but to basically Cardi B passive aggressively harassing her, she decided, you know what? Fuck that. Before I go missing, I'm going to put this information out there. And if you think that Cardi B doesn't have the backing for people to go missing, then you guys are not paying attention. So we got even the beginning of the police report. That's crazy. Hold on for a second. So let's read that first page of the police report. This is interesting. So yeah, this is the police report right here, page 2, or technically, the narrative. So that's technically the first page of the police report. This is interesting. This is very interesting. Shout out to the people that digged up the police work. Official news. Let's hear this.
Their star wide receiver faced breaking news here this afternoon. The New England Patriots say they support Stefon Diggs as their star wide receiver faces strangulation and assault charges. I'm Kel Thompson, Boston 25, first to break this story today. Court documents show the incident happened on December 2nd. Diggs' lawyers just appeared in Dedham District Court over the phone. They are fighting to keep the police report from the public. They also say Diggs made a financial offer to the victim to resolve the dispute. The judge says she is taking it all under advisement and will make a decision shortly. We'll let you know when she does. Diggs is expected to be arraigned next month on January 23rd. That is 2 days before the AFC Championship game. And
damn. He's going to be arraigned on the 23rd. Interesting.
Statement just into the Boston 25 newsroom from the Patriots. They tell us the New England Patriots are aware of the accusations that have been made regarding Stefon Diggs. Stefon has informed the organization that he categorically denies the allegations. We support Stefon. We will continue to gather information and will cooperate fully with the appropriate authorities.
But what's crazy is she was going to drop, according to the police report, she was going to drop it until Cardi B intervened and try to put her 2 cents in. Yep. OG Desire says, as bad as Offset is, Stefon is way too much bad PR. Facts. She lost, in my opinion. She lost. But it's interesting. Cardi B had dropped this video. She dropped this video. This video came out before all of these allegations. So it's just interesting. This is Cardi B actually reacting to people talking about Stefon Diggs having to go to all of these kids' houses on Christmas Day and not really be at Cardi B's house. So this was a video that she made before all of these allegations came out.
Y'all need to calm down. Is y'all cool? Y'all been dragging me for 3 or 4 days. Y'all been a little bit too mean. Y'all been a little bit too mean. I can't change shit. I can't go back in time. You know what I'm saying? I already had a baby. Y'all want me to put my baby back in my pussy? Huh? I don't know. What y'all want me to do? Y'all want me to leave my man and fuck yours? You want me to leave my man and just go and fuck yours? I don't know. What y'all want me to do? We can only go forward now. So I don't know. 2026 is in a couple of days. I have so much work to do once January starts that it's stressing me out. I'm going to be away from my babies, away from my personal life, away from my home. I have to rehearse for 10 to 12 hours a day for tour. There is so many elements of production that I'm missing for tour. I'm already super stressed out. You know what I'm saying? I'm already super stressed out. I need my support system, my fans to love me. I want y'all to come to my tour and enjoy yourself with me. Don't be dragging me. It's enough. All right? It's enough. I love y'all. I want good for y'all. I want good for y'all. I want health, money, prosperity, happiness for this new year for y'all. Wish me the same thing, all right? Leave me alone, though. Shit. Damn. Y'all scare me sometimes. Y'all a little bit too.
No, they're just looking at the logic of you left. You say that you left Offset for being unfaithful, and then you ended up with a guy who is not only him being unfaithful is the least of his concerns. This guy is reckless, loose, uncivilized, a degenerate, a sexual deviant. This makes no sense. So there's nothing we can do for her at this point. Now, the problem with this is once this situation eventually goes sour, you know what women are going to say, right? They're going to say, you see, this is why you can't give men a chance with a pass and blah. I'm like, ma'am, we told you Stefon Diggs wasn't worth shit. Black men warned Cardi B about this. They're not gonna say that we were right. They're just gonna just flip it on and just say that, you see, this is what you do when you give these men a chance. That's what they're gonna do, you know. So that's there's nothing we can do about that situation. Anyways. Oh Lord. Let's see if we got anything more on Twitter. Oh, we got somebody leaked the police report right here. Yeah, exactly. So right here. So Angela Rockford says the girlies was saying this ninja was an upgrade from Offset, but anyone who followed football knew outside of being a sex addict, he's violent. And there's just too many things that have been swept under the rug when it comes to Stefon Diggs, which has cautioned me to him. Where I was even like, you heard me earlier on this year, like when it comes to Stefon Diggs, he's a bit of a different type of cat. When it comes to him, even if he has money, you would still warn your girl or your sister or your peoples. Or if you do have a homegirl, you would warn them from dating somebody like a Stefon Diggs because he has a lot of red flags. Same with like Trey Songz. There's too many red flags in their background. And somebody said that video of the Vikings teammates told you everything you needed to know. Yeah, anybody that, particularly if you played sports, especially if you're a man that's played sports, but you saw that Vikings video where they just all threw him under the bus. Mind you, he's wide receiver number 1, but they all threw him under the bus for him being who he is. That showed me everything. That's all I needed to see. To any real ninja, that's all you need to see right there. Yeah, but anyways. So right here, Tasha K is showing all of her, because this isn't the first time Stefon Diggs has had allegations on him. This ain't the first time. Man, these ninjas out here, boy. Mind you, he could have avoided all of this if he was actually honest with her. But you know, a lot of ninjas, what they've been doing, what a lot of ninjas do, they get these borderline escorts and try to finesse them out of free pussy by gassing their head up, knowing that they're gonna believe their own hype. And they're not even going to see that they're getting played. Same with Cardi B. She don't even realize that Stefon Diggs is using her. He's just using her for clout. But these so-called boss chicks or whatever, they can never see the finesse. But apparently you can see the finesse of the passport bros, huh? But you can't see your own finesse happening right in front. Your own finessing happening right in front of you. Well, yeah. Apparently, the arraignment is set for January 23rd. These memes are killing me. Yeah, these memes are killing me. But yeah. I saw this story literally leaving the procession, leaving the funeral. I went straight on my phone, and the first thing I see on my ESPN pop up, Stefon Diggs. Accusations of this. I'm like, oh, here we go. But Stefon Diggs, he's the type. He's definitely the type to push the boundaries, definitely to walk across the imaginary line. He's that type of cat. But everything that he's going through right now, it's all his fault. It's all his fault. Stop trying to finesse free punani out of escorts. I don't like this. This needs to be like the theme of 2027. 2026. Right. This needs to be the theme. Stop trying to finesse free punani from escorts and borderline escorts. Stop doing that. Right. But a lot of these ninjas, they ain't finna listen, man. They're just not gonna listen. Their head is too hard. But anyways, I'm gonna have to end the stream. I don't know why, but I'm falling asleep like a motherfucker right now. But my next live stream, it's gonna have to be the simp of the year. I don't know if it's gonna be a top 10 or a top 5. There's many to name. There's very many to name. But I'll do a top 5. I'll do our honorable mentions. No, I'll do top 10. I'll be fair. I'll do top 10 with a few of my honorable mentions. That's what I'll do. I'll be fair. I'll be very fair. Because I already know the 10 people that I'm going to select. It's just a matter of where I'm going to rank them in terms of when it comes to pure simpery. So I already know the people that I'm going to select. And some of the selections might shock you. Some of the selections might shock you. But yeah, I got to end the stream because I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah. I expected nothing less from Diggs. Yeah, like this, like stories like this, I'd like you gonna see like he's a whole ass. Well, same with Antonio, to a lesser extent, but like people like Diggs, they don't surprise me about what they do, because it's if you study somebody's actions and if you study their behavior long enough, it's pretty predictable. So Diggs is the type, he's gonna have these assault cases against. It's not, mind, this is not SA. This is like physical assault, like a real DV assault case that's on him right now. But he's the type to get something like that against him, or even at a future. He's a future Me Too waiting to happen. That he definitely is a future Me Too waiting to happen. You know, some people they just roll like that. You know, and with Diggs and his actions and how he acts, seeing how he was with women, seeing how he dates women, seeing how he treats them, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see this. But anyways, what will be my outro video? It needs to be related to the topic. I need to find one that's actually related to the topic. Oh man. Oh yeah, we'll end it off with TD Jakes talking about being swallowed up. I'm gonna take a nap because it's been a long day. Anyway, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Another live stream, another video coming up soon. Take care and be.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you were at your wit's end? That is my point of view.